Right, 11 a.m. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. My name is Melanie and I'm going to introduce Anne, who's our host, in a moment. But just before I do, if we can do a couple of quick housekeeping things. The first one is, if you can actually hear me, can you just pop something in the chat to confirm that so we know everything's working? This is the first time we've run this online training, so we just need to check. That would be great. Even if someone could just type yes, that would be really good. Thank you. While I'm waiting to see if you guys can hear. Yes, thank you very much, Virgie. Appreciate that. Awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do today, the plan for this morning is we will do maximum of 30 minutes where we just explain to you what the program is, how to access it, some of the things that we've learned along the way about some of the traps for young players and the things that Jane will talk to you about. I can confirm as a business owner, having put people through this program, that you definitely need to know what you're doing, but Anne's really good at that. She'll be able to explain that to you. And then we're going to have some time for questions at the end. So we're sort of imagining probably up to 30 minutes where we go through the content, and then however long you need for questions at the end. Now, if you've got any questions along the way, type them into the chat box, because while Anne is talking, I'll keep an eye on that and I'll chip in and ask them for you. And if your question is something that is probably too long to type, then just do the raise hand little button that you've got there, and when we get a chance, we'll unmute you and talk to them. So if we can turn the camera on so we can see and we've got Josh there now, and so Josh will zoom in on a little bit. While he's doing that, let me tell you a little bit about Anne. If I can get there. Yeah. So Anne Bottom is our college owner here at Global Training Institute. She has been, how long have you had this company for now?
16 years.
Oh my goodness, you get less time for serious crimes. So Anne is not one of our trainers. She is our government liaison person, business development manager, looks after pretty much everything other than training, don't you really?
Yeah, but don't ask me for any specific details. I've sent the flies.
Okay. So Anne actually is understanding herself. She knows a lot about how all this whole government process works. And she is originally a qualified teacher. Then on the photo with her is her husband Shane, who looks after the training side of the business. Now, how many employees have you got?
We've got 36 on team at the moment. Wow. And they are just amazing people to work with, as our students find out every day. So yeah, no, they're just a wonderful, wonderful team to have around us.
Awesome. So we will go straight into it, because I know everybody's busy. I know, so are you. So what I might get you to do, Anne, is just talk about why you even put this training together, and what is this that we're talking about? Why is it such a good thing?
Right. Yeah, hi. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to have a virtual cup of coffee together. So the joys of COVID. Yes, we're in Queensland, so I had to walk out this morning with our masks. So I was been swimming this morning, and I rang the pool to say, hi, do I have to wear the mask at the pool? And my and Mark, manager at the pool, said, yeah, Anne, we're providing snorkels to go with everybody's masks. So that was a bit of fun this morning. So yeah, we've got them all here in our office, but so we do honestly feel for anyone in Sydney and Victoria who've had these things for a long time, because this is our first day of experiencing them up in Queensland. But why are we looking at this program? Because I honestly believe that this thing is the best thing that's out from the government at the moment. So you're going to have a look. So it's a win for employees. So if you're on with joining us today for a coffee, then it's a win for you. If you're an employer and having to deal with all of this delights and everything else around, it's a win for you. And it's also a win for our government and our economy. So as we've journeyed through this whole last 12 months, we've really looked and went, what does businesses need? What do people need coming out of this? Where do we go from now? And it is honestly a different world at the workplace. Yeah, normally you literally would be sitting down having a cuppa with me, but today we are using this virtual technology. And yeah, and Melanie is really cool because she understands all this stuff. So we've actually got a unit written in one of our courses now for how do you use this digital technology. And 12 months ago, Melanie was running workshops for business owners to say, what is Teams, what's Zoom, how do you use it? And here we are today having to do it. So we've set up our whole training room, and virtually it's all been changed. How we're running our workshops are trained, but it's still coming with the intent and the really good stuff in it. We're just having to do things differently. And as a business owner or an employee, you just have to get with the times. But this program is just super duper special. It's out there, and I absolutely believe that everybody should be taking advantage of it. It is a little bit of stuff we've got to work through, but we'll get into that. But Melanie's worked through it as a business owner. We're working through it every day with business owners, and they are able to access it, and it is making a real difference to those employees in their business and to the business itself. And collectively, we're making a huge impact in the economy.
Awesome. So tell us about, we're talking about it being win for the 3 different.
Yeah.
So what's in it for the government? Like, one of my first reaction when someone said to me, oh, you can get a thing like JobKeeper, you just have to train your staff and to get it, was like, why would they do that? So what is in it for the government to do that?
Okay, so in the government, it does boost the employment levels. So we have seen, so we're working with probably 1,000 students at the moment, and we're really seeing lots of our students getting new jobs throughout this time. A lot really were impacted by COVID, a lot lost their jobs, but we've really seen that bounce back. And so for the government, they're upskilling their employees, and we're upskilling them in new ways so that they are able to take on those new jobs and have those new skills. And we really are seeing that happening through. I've got a list of sort of every fortnight, all our trainers get together for a meeting. And so before that, we actually run through and print off the workshop sheet, the testimonial sheets, and the people that are finishing their quals, everything comes through. So I was glancing through this morning, ready for tomorrow's meeting, about 50 pages of feedbacks of students that have finished in the last 2 weeks, and just seeing what they've done and the difference that it's made. So, and that they've been able to go and get new jobs and different things throughout their courses and things. So for the economy wanting to kick back in, this program where we can upskill our people and make our businesses much more productive, and so that they can employ more people, is definitely a win.
Okay, so everything that we're going to talk about today is government approved. We're not finding loopholes or doing anything. This is actually something that the government wants to have happen.
Absolutely. So it's actually their gift to you. So if we can, so basically it's like Christmas. So, and we're coming up to July.
What are you putting on there?
Well, it's my Christmas Santa hat, because we're actually going to help the government, because they've got, we'll tell you how, now I told you I'm no good at figures, but I'll tell you on the next slide, we've got how much money the government's looking at doing it. So this whole program is a gift from the government to you as a business owner, and it's a gift to you as an employee. Okay, so what happened is the government, looking at coming out of COVID, decided that they really needed to boost the economy. And how are we going to do that? And that's providing skills for our people and providing jobs, and really giving business owners the tools and the dollars to actually be able to move forward their business. So they created a program called Boosting Apprenticeship Commencements. And what that does is allows you to put on new workers and existing workers. Now, existing, keep that in mind. So into the program where you can receive up to $28,000 for each of your employees. So half your wages, and you get it rebated back. So what the government has done is, it works so well in the last sort of term, is that they've extended it and added how many every billion dollars on top of that. So they've added an extra 2-point-something billion dollars. So this is their gift to you to take advantage of. And certainly as a business owner, I've taken advantage of it. And my team are so excited here about those that were new to coming on to gaining new qualifications. They get together with their mentors, they're learning heaps of new skills, thoroughly enjoying it, and I'm really seeing their confidence boost. I know Melanie's seeing lots of things happening with her business, and she's taken advantage of it as well. So as we roll through it, make sure that you take advantage of this new program, but keep in mind that we will work with you through it at the end of this, because every state is different, every employment situation is different, and it does need a bit of hand holding.
Are you saying that perhaps our state governments have different rules to the federal government, and perhaps they each have different rules from each other?
Yes, they do. So the federal government have got this program. Now, it's a federal government program, but unfortunately it's got to be administered by the states, and every single state has different rules.
Okay.
So we've specialised in working our way through this.
I'm confused already. So what are we, for people that are on this training, I presume you're going to explain to them how to weave their way through.
We are. And at the end of it, don't worry, because here at Global, we're going to give you your own account manager who will work personally through the whole process with you. But the big thing to take away from today is, yes, it's real. Yes, the money arrives in the bank account. And we will work with you to make sure that you can access it for you and your employees. So for the employees, yes, it's a win for each of the employees, which is what we see through our feedback forms every day with our students, is that they've learnt so much personally, they've learnt so much with their work, their jobs, they've learnt so many new skills. So yeah, we've redesigned all our programs under this so that you can be learning the latest skills. There is opportunity for career progressions. One of the guys was really funny here. He had been looking at a promotion at work, and he said he used everything that he'd learnt in his skills so that he could.
And did he get his promotion?
He did. He got his promotion, and everything he'd learnt in the course he was able to use in there.
Okay, so just before you explain to us exactly how this works and what it is,
yes,
just talk to us a little bit more about specifically what it's going to do. Like, courses great for employees, you know, stimulating economy, great for the government. What's it specifically going to do for the employers though?
Okay, so for employers, if you upskill your people, now I can give you so much research that, as to why it's good to be providing professional development for your people. They stick around. They're much more motivated. They're becoming much more innovative. They're thinking outside the box. They'll implement your culture. There's so many things for implementing the things. One of the big reasons is that if you offer professional development to your people, you don't actually, a lot of them, a lot less will leave and you don't have to replace.
Okay.
And we all know the pain of the neck of it is of replacing people and training them.
But traditionally the problem, of course, has been is that's all fine, but it costs.
It does.
It costs money, and I can't afford to set people away from the workplace. So the second one I know you're going to talk about later. Yes. But the money thing, how does that get?
Okay, so what happens is that the government, with their little present for you, is giving you up to $28,000 per employee. So it's half their wage subsidy, up to $7,000 for that quarter. So what's been happening in the last couple of weeks is, in our business personally, we get reminders from our person that signed up our people for this program, and it says, "Hi Shane," because he does the pay, don't ask me for money. So, "Hi Shane, can you make sure that you put in your wage slips for all these people?" And then the government puts into our bank account up to $7,000 for the quarter of half their wages.
Okay, so this is a new program. When did it start, and what's the go of this whole back business?
Yeah, so it started at the end of last year, in which the government put in those 2-point-something billion, right. And now they've extended it until the 30th of March next year. So you need to get in and get it organised now so that you can make sure that the government money doesn't run out. And the biggest thing is I've got limited places with my trainers. Okay. So we'll be monitoring that.
So, but originally when I heard about it, I was told that it was just for new employees. And when you see the politicians talking about it on the media, they're talking about new employees, but it's not just for new employees, right?
No, it's available for existing workers as well. But the existing worker list, there's a tiny little list of courses that are put in the back pocket that don't actually come out to the light. And on this course, we've actually got here at Global Training, we've got qualifications on this list. And on that list, we've built these great programs around them.
So will you explain that to a moment, which ones are existing, which ones are new and all that?
Sort of thing. So yeah, so I'll go through what you can have. But so number one, a lot of the employers are looking at who's been on in your team under 3 months, getting your new people up and running on this program, and looking at then at all your existing workers. So you can nearly put through everybody. Basically, everyone's nearly going to be eligible unless you're on a skills visa. Right. So nearly all of your people are going to be eligible for the program. Right. So that's nearly everybody for a $28,000 wage rebate.
Except for there's a few exclusions out there, like your CEO is not eligible.
Yeah, CEO is not direct. If you own the business and you're not an employee, you're kind of not eligible for that. Mm-hmm. And you've got to have somebody to supervise. So the owner's kind of doing a bit of supervision. So, but basically, yeah, it is purely is a gift. Everybody's basically eligible. Every business is eligible, every state. So you've got to be, as long as you're not a government-owned organisation, councils are still good, so local government's good, but as long as you're not a state or a federal government organisation, you're good to go. So it's businesses, organisations, local councils from all states and all industries. So Josh Frydenberg and the government really are trying to get it out there for our people to use and actually be able to benefit.
So it's kind of like a replacement for JobKeeper with a couple of strings attached that you've got to train your people, which is actually, I mean, previously people could get JobKeeper and stay home and do no work, and employers could get JobKeeper and be closed. Now you can actually get a wage subsidy, but they've got to be working and they've got to be learning something while they're working.
Yes, so we're upskilling our economy. So, and it doesn't matter if you were eligible for JobKeeper or not, because like our business personally wasn't eligible, but we're certainly able to access this.
Okay.
So it's not just for those, but it is, definitely out there. So all size businesses, any state, all industries.
Just not government departments.
Just not government departments unless you're the local council.
Okay, cool. And I know that you wanted to do some calculations just because in case everybody needed to be really inspired. So I've put this table on your slide that you can talk to people about just how much money there is even after they pay for course fees.
Yeah, so what happens is basically you get the money in and you have to pay for your course. But after you've paid for your course, and we'll go through course fees and everything extra, and you're definitely going to get value from that. But so if you've got 5 people on, you're still going to keep or make into your budget $111,000 extra.
For 5 employees.
For 5 employees.
That's not bad, hey?
Oh yeah, so what you can do with 5, so if you're a not-profit organisation, what difference can you make in the community with 100 grand?
I was talking to someone the other day who'd applied for a government grant for, I think it was 500,000, and they'd spent months of work trying to do it, trying to get this grant approved, and then they didn't get it. And I said to her, you've got 40 people that would be eligible to do this program. You could get $1 million in government grant without all that hassle. So people just don't realise what's possible, do they?
No. So that's why I kind of feel like Santa Claus for every single one of the businesses that we are offering, because we go, look, if you've got 10, look, what can you do for, $250,000, or if you've got 100, there's 2.25 million. What a difference you can make.
After you've paid course fees, so that's what you've got left over in your hand at the end.
But there's also payroll tax that gets wiped out for half the states in the country as well. And then there's some other incentives and different things as well. It's this real little bucket.
So actually a couple of the people that I put on, because this is administered under the traineeship program, and so the existing traineeship incentives are still there. So I know one of my people, I'm getting the 28,000 for her, plus I get 4,000 from the state government for putting her on a traineeship, plus she's over 50, so I get a bit more. It's all kinds of buckets of money that they're throwing at us.
Yeah, so yes, win for an employer. So because we know that honestly, if you've got dollars in the pocket, and throughout COVID as a business owner, I've been very responsible as to what I've been spending dollars, but when I've got spare, I have been making sure I've been putting it back into the economy. For people. And so if we've got some spare in there, and we think as business owners we actually get to use the government money better than half the other programs that they run, then this program actually lets us to take some and then actually distribute it back to our economy.
I'd just like to say that your version of distributing it back through the economy, I understand, was buying a mini Weber barbecue.
I did, from a local person, but so we make sure that if we're going out, we will go and shop at local people. We have put on, we have used it to employ a lot more teams here. So as business owners and very much looking at this program, it is a gift from the government for you to take advantage of, and we're really looking at working with other companies that will responsibly look at how it gets distributed out and different things as well.
Yeah, and people who are on this probably don't know, but you actually did go through the list of people you invited and picked out companies of the size and industries that you thought would benefit from it. So you haven't just contacted everybody.
No, we've been very, very selective as to the types of companies that we want to work with, companies that we've dealt with in the past, who have supported us in business in the past, and that we would like to see be able to access this gift from the government.
Yeah, that's cool. So I know that it changes all the time because government.
Yes, it does.
But can you talk us through the courses? Because the existing employees one, I think, is the one that a lot of people find the most difficult to wrap their heads around. Because new workers, there's a whole list of courses that they could do, and we'll come to that. But for existing workers, most of the stuff that you read says, it's for traditional trades. Now, you've got some courses that are listed on the traditional trades list, but they're not what you think of as trades. So I'll just put up the slide which has got those courses on, and if you can talk them through it, and then we'll talk about where that comes from and all that sort of thing.
Okay, so for your existing employees, this is the one that will make the huge difference. This is where you can actually be that employer that can actually access and offer them professional development. Or if you're the employee that's on with us, this is where you can talk to your boss about that you can get your professional development and your qualifications listed. So we've got on this magical little list that is very well and deeply hidden, we've actually got some parts in there and qualifications that we've been able to use. So some of those are, if you're in New South Wales, our business sustainability course, and that's where we've really got a link to all of the latest skills and things that you're going to learn. Workplace health and safety is a great course. We're all needing to use that now, especially with this delight of COVID floating around. Yeah, we've been running around the office this morning. Our workplace health and safety officer has been putting out how many people can go into what rooms. We've had to redo all of our ergonomics for everybody who's working from home. Yeah, if you haven't got a WHS off person in your building, in your business at the moment, COVID's certainly shown that we all need to. One of the program things with our WHS is that mental health has been a real issue.
So it's not just safety, as
it's
in
not just
building
safe
sites and things like
sites, no. It's really been looking at the health of your employees, the health of with workmates, the health in the community. So we're really looking at how, as responsible individuals, we can help others.
So it's workplace wellness as much as
it is very
not
much
falling
so.
off, scaffolding.
Yeah. But keeping in mind that we are still legally responsible. If anyone's working from home, we're responsible as employers for their office and what they're doing at home.
So both of those two courses could apply to pretty much all businesses.
Absolutely,
in some way.
yeah. And if you're looking for like a supervision or leadership, what we've done is we're pretty well experts here at Global Training of packaging things together. I take this and I go, oh, what can I do with it? How can I maneuver this? So we've put it together with leadership and management programs.
It's like a dual qualification.
Dual qualification, yeah. It's only an extra couple of units. Yeah, you'll still keep, more than 20 grand when you pay your course fees and everything. And we've also got one with project management as well. So if you're an employer looking to upskill your people in project management skills or supervision leadership skills or business communication skills, yeah, we tack it onto one of these, which is why you'll work individually with us. So we'll design a program just for you and your people.
That's clever. And then there's a couple of specialist courses.
Yeah, so civil construction. So if you're one of our civil companies, we've been working with civil companies and councils. These are the two probably last 10, 12 years. Shane's actually a civil construction engineer, and we work with most of the little companies and big companies all around the country. So those guys have got their own Cert 4 in civil construction. And
so all four of these programs are for existing
workers.
So they can be full-time, permanent, been with you for 10 years.
Yeah.
You can still put them on one of these courses and still get $20-something thousand per person over the year.
Yeah, so if you bank on $20,000 a year that you'll keep in your pocket, then that's pretty simple, and we will work with one of the programs. So you'll either pick a business communication kind of course, and sustainability is so exciting at the moment. I just love sustainability because COVID and everything has really shown that sustainability is not just the environmental management, it's looking at sustainability of your business.
So business continuity.
Business continuity and prospering and keeping that edge. Yeah. So we've really got some really cool projects and everything in our sustainability courses. Yeah, they're lots of fun. Students are loving it.
So just tell us briefly, because I'm conscious of the time, about these courses for new workers.
Okay, so if you've got anybody who has been with you for under 3 months, so start checking back at the moment, that's March. We've got 15 courses that you can either do a certificate for in or a diploma in. Now, again, you're going to need to work with this because in the world of training, there's some code changes that every single state has got different codes. But don't worry, everybody will end up with it at the end of 12 months with the latest qualification.
And that's because some of these courses are changing and being updated. So
yeah,
you have to enroll in the old one and then graduate
to the new one. So whatever your state is that we need to do for your state, we will work with it. So whether you've got to enroll in the old and I'll put you through to the new, but everyone will end up with a new one at the end.
We'll figure out, so case by case, we'll figure out the rules for people to make sure they're
it just depends where. Now, a lot of our companies will actually have people in different states. So don't worry, we will work with you to maneuver that as well. And so that it works perfectly for you and your
and so new workers is anybody full-time permanent who's been with you for less than 3 months.
Yes.
Plus anybody that's casual or part-time who you're upgrading their employment. So you're moving them from casual to part-time or part-time to full-time. And speaking of new workers in different states, there's an extra bonus if they're new workers in New South Wales, isn't there?
Yeah, I think there is something.
I think it might be free.
Yeah, so yes, there's a good one in that one. So if your training will be free in New South Wales. So if you're a New South Wales business owner and you're putting on anyone that's new or wanting to, because remember, what projects can you get done in the business over the next 12 months if you've got somebody's half their wages paid for? Because I know here at our company, we've put on some people that are working on just projects for the next 12 months, 2 years, and then those projects will be up and running and we'll just look at keeping those people on them. But yeah, we're really using it for, if I can get half wages paid for, I can get so much extra work done.
So basically, if you've got one employee, say, and you put on a second employee, then you get enough wage subsidy between the two to actually pay for the whole second employee, don't you? Like you get 2 50% wage subsidies, which means the second work is free.
Free, yeah.
So think about what you could do in your business if you actually had some employees' labour that didn't cost you anything for a year. That's quite amazing.
It is. So both Melanie and I have switched onto this. I know she's expanding and doing stuff with her business at the moment by using this program and the gift from the government. And we certainly are.
So course fees then, because you've said about the 28,000 and then you said you get to keep over 20. So how much is Global Training charging for the courses if it's not free, if it doesn't fit into one of those funded?
Yeah, so basically between $5,000 and $7,000. So we have not changed our course fees to if you were a normal employer paying for your people, which happens every day, or you're on a vet student loan or anything extra. So our course fees haven't changed. So out of your $28,000, expect that you'll keep usually around the 22,500. But if we need to expand, if you want to do leadership or anything, then just budget at the 20. You'll keep the 20 grand. And things. So, but free if you are, and if you happen to work in construction in Queensland, of course, then your fees are even more subsidised. So it is that kind of individual nature. It will depend. My prices don't change, but just depends as the state. So but just keep in mind, we work out the best deal for you so that as an owner.
So wherever you can access funding and you can minimise the. Okay. So we've got a couple more slides of specifics and then we'll let people ask questions. So just a reminder about this existing worker thing, because I know that when I first talked to one of the apprenticeship centres, who are the middleman who sign people up, not the ones that you recommend, but another one, they said, oh no, you can't do this for existing workers. So can you please just remind us, just before we do that.
Yeah.
So this is just a slide that we put up on how you get the wage subsidy. Do you want to just quickly talk through that and then remind us about the existing worker?
All right, okay. So for your wage subsidy, it is really, really simple. So basically, you're going to be signing your people up as a trainee. Now, and that has to be done with an employment centre. So they're called AASNs at the moment. They used to be ANPs and Australian Network Providers. Anyway, they keep changing their name, but don't worry about it. We've kind of got some links into it. So there's names, things that you would have heard. So Sereno Russo, Busy at Work, MEGT, Verto, and there's a bunch. But again, every state has different ones. We've got a link of people that understand how to get the existing workers, because I have business owners ringing me saying, and the apprenticeship centre said it's not. And I say, well, yes, it is. And we give you the details. So one of the things you've got to do to be able to walk through this little path with us is we give you the information, and as an owner or an employee that you really want to do this, you need to have a few different key knowledge things in your back pocket.
There's some language that you need to use in that. So
yeah.
So they are. It's, if you look at these lists, and you've got the copy of the documents there, I think. So there's a tell us about Appendix I and how that fits into the puzzle.
Okay, yeah. So there is this magical thing called Appendix I, and it's the trade-based Australian apprenticeships. And this is the course list of these few little courses that we've got 3 on there. And so in the kit that we'll give you, when you actually go to your meeting with the apprenticeship centre, we give you the list that says, hi, this matches A, because you've got to match A to match B and D. And a lot of the people that they're really lovely, but they're not very good. They're kind of box tickers and don't know how to think outside the box. So we've already done all the work for all the business owners that we work with to say, hi, take this sheet with you, tell them you want this here and that here, and they give it to you. And then they magically give you the sheet. And this is the sheet that we get back in here to the office, and these are ticked off with existing workers. And on this sheet, it says you can be an apprentice, a new entrant trainee or an existing worker trainee.
So these are actual approved examples.
Yeah, so these are so these are approved examples that have come through to us again in the last couple of days, where we've walked through with the business owners, given them what they need for their meetings, and it's all ticked off, and they are now up and running and getting their gift from the government.
Okay, so last quick question, and then we will talk about how we give people access to this kind of information so they can do it. Do you want to just quickly talk us through the training programs that we run, especially in these pandemic times? How do they work, and how do we sort of not take people away from the workplace and all that sort of thing?
Okay, so there's no workshops to attend, and there's no lectures. So where the world of COVID, everybody suddenly grabbed for going online. Here at Global, we've been online for the last 10 years because all of our students have been existing workers. So what's happened is they got no time to go to workshop. Employers aren't wanting people to run off to workshops anymore. So we converted everything about 10 years ago to online. Now,
so you're not talking about just giving them some documents, some PDFs, and they have to read it all. This is actual this is real training.
Real training, and it's a one-on-one program with you and your trainer. So what happens is your trainer calls you every month, and you've got access to everything you need, and it's all big buttons and really simple things. Our existing workers that we work with, so the 1,000 students that we're working with at the moment, are all probably like Wendy. And Wendy is up there. She's one of our students that's just finished and done a graduation with us. So you'll see at the bottom, we do virtual graduations now. On some of the other photos behind us, you'll see that we did face-to-face graduations. So Wendy's great. So Wendy was one of our students 10 years ago.
Right.
So she's been with us, and she's done another couple of calls along the way, and she's come back and just done another 2. Right. And just loving it. And she's actually just moved to the Sunshine Coast here. So
if it's an individual student, they get one-on-one calls from their trainer. They get regular sessions with a completion coach who helps them basically figure it out, and then they can hop into the Zoom room if they've got questions.
So we used to be able to run workshops in different places, and the trainer would run around the sessions and help you with your assessments. Now we run Zoom rooms, and so again you can put your hand up and come in, and the trainer will help you all out. Now, it may seem strange to a lot of the employees how this is going to work, but what we've done is we've actually got videos to show you how training sessions can now work.
So if anyone wants to see an example of what we're talking about, just email us.
Email, and I'll send you a link, because we've stuck them up on YouTube and everything and done them.
And what about groups? What if it's like 20 people from one company?
Okay, so if you've got 20 people, we can run just like these workshops here, but we just run them virtually. And so the trainer actually zooms in, streams in. People are still doing activities and everything. And again, we've got an example of a YouTube, the one that we've run the other day for a company, and so that you can actually see how it actually works.
And you can do it 2 ways, right? You can do it with all the trainees in one room, like traditionally, or they can all be at their desks at a computer, and everybody's in different locations.
Yeah, and they can have it around the country as well. So we've got examples for both of that. So it does still really work, and it still works really effectively. And so with this modern technology and everything, it works really well. So the completion coach and everything, like in these lists and lists of pages here, the people just really talk about, our students talk about the benefits to them, how they've grown personally, how much more confidence they've got, how their trainers have worked with them, how their completion coach journeys through life with them. It's really kind of cool, because I don't have to make it all up. Every fortnight I just get to read all this cool stuff that everybody's happening in the world of the benefits that they're getting from doing the training with us. So
last thing, and then we'd really love questions, because this is the first time that we've run it, and we'd love to know if we made sense and if we need to redo anything or things that you found useful. So if you start typing your questions in, that would be great. The other thing I think it's important that people know, though, is if they're sitting there going, well, I'd like to do this, but what if it doesn't work out? I don't want to be up for like course fees and find I can't get the wage subsidy or something like that.
Okay, so what happens, we've got a risk-free guarantee there for you. Okay, so what happens is, number one, you identify your people that are going to work with it, decide that you're going to work with us. You have a meeting with the Apprenticeship Centre, where they're going to, at that Apprenticeship Centre meeting, they will actually look at your person, make sure that your person's eligible, but we'll have already gone through all this sort of stuff beforehand with you anyway, before the meeting. And then after that meeting, you don't pay us anything until we get these magic little forms in our hands that says, hi Anne, at Global Training, would you take this person on as a trainee? Would you do their professional development?
And that magic little form is the thing that says your wage subsidy's been approved.
Yes, so your wage subsidy is approved. So at the meeting, it's just a form to sign up for the wage subsidy, and they send you a link to say, and they send you little emails to say, hi, remember to send your wage slips in, and the money arrives in the bank account. Yeah, and so nobody pays us anything until you've been approved and we've got these little things in our hands and we're actually ready to get up and running.
Okay. So,
and then we've got payment installments as well.
So if people want to know more, because obviously this was a very fast run,
yeah,
what do they do next? What's the next step?
Okay, so give us a call at or send us an email at wagesubsidy@globaltraining.edu.au. We will give you your own account manager. So I've got a great team of people here who have dived in, understand all of this, and will actually work with you to walk you through.
And we'll also give them the checklist with all the links on how everything step by step.
Step by step. I call it actually my bouncing ball document, because if you start at the top and you bounce all the way through and just follow, we've given you lots of little documents to say, hi, this is what you need at this stage. It all works. It goes really smoothly. It can be really fast. And you end up with one of these things.
So we've got a few questions.
Yeah.
And then if anyone else has got questions, please type them in. Or if you want to send us a message in the Q&A with your thoughts and your comments and your feedback, that would be great. So one question is, are casuals able to take these courses? Okay.
Casuals moving to, again, each state is different, and the apprenticeship people are the ones that are dictators for it. So they determine who is eligible or not. Usually casuals aren't eligible for a traineeship in many states.
You'd have to make them part-time.
You've got to make them part-time, but keep in mind, if you suddenly make them part-time, half their wages are being reimbursed.
So you leave them on casuals and you get nothing, or you make them part-time and you get 50% of their wages.
Yeah. Now what I did, it is, it's kind of moving through, but what I did do during COVID last year was sat on an awful lot of HRIR webinars and decided it was an absolute minefield to be employing casuals anyway, because half the casuals got told that they were technically part-time if their hours were the same anyway. So yeah, if you've got casuals, I'd really have a look into that. If you need IR help, I will put a thing out. We've got a lot of students from EmploySure who really go through and actually help work out, are they really casuals, are they actually permanent part-timers anyway, and just move them across and get to wage subsidy.
So if the person who asked that question wants to shoot you an email, you can have a chat with them about numbers and help them figure out whether it's worthwhile.
And definitely we've got a really good strong link now with the apprenticeship network people in each of the states, so that we can give you somebody that will actually say, yes, we're going to approve this person, or no, we're not.
We've worked with one in each state, and we kind of know who understands it the way.
Because
speaking of which, there's actually another question here, which is, will you completely manage the process with the apprenticeship centre, provided we give you all the information?
Well, we can do, so they would probably prefer for you to make a phone call to the apprenticeship centre, but we've already given you what you need to do, what everybody needs to take with them, and so it's not hard.
Collate it all.
Oh, absolutely, and we've already got it on the bouncing ball checklist, bounce your way through. So it's little things like you'll need to make sure that they take their photo ID with them to the meeting.
Yeah, okay.
And
we'll tell them, we'll give them.
And we've already got that beforehand to say, but it's not hard. Tell them to rock on up with their your green Medicare card and your driver's license, or your passport and the birth certificate, and they sort of tick it.
Okay, so I've got another question. It's from Anonymous. So if you need clarification, Anonymous, we might need to get you to clarify. Can you please explain more about the free courses? Okay, so the free courses are in New South Wales if you're signing up a new trainee. So it just means that during COVID, I have multiple contracts in New South Wales, have done for training there for the last sort of 7 years. So before COVID, anyone that was entering onto a traineeship, they used to pay $1,000 for your course fee. So the New South Wales government have just been extra nice, because they really understand the value of providing professional development and upskilling their people. So it used to be $1,000, but during COVID, there's no dollars on that. So if you're in New South Wales and you've got somebody that's either starting or been there under 3 months, I can't charge, because I have a contract with New South Wales government. Your course fees are free, and therefore you keep the whole $28,000. So no fees at all for that. No fees at all for that for the moment. Okay, one last question, I think, unless anyone else has got any. Similar to the other one, can casuals apply, or do they have to become full-time? No, it can be part-time. Okay. Yeah, but again, each state is. So they don't have to go full. So if they're doing, say, 2 shifts a week as a casual now, you could, without giving industrial relations advice. Yes, I can't. EmploySure. You could probably make them 2 shifts a week part-time if they were the same shifts. I think it's 15 hours, or there's something or other. 35. There's some hour numbers in there. Yeah. So probably yes, but check.
Yeah.
So there's the email there, wagesubsidy@globaltraining.edu if anyone's got questions. But what phone number do you want to give?
Okay,
people?
yeah, that's fine. So our 1-800 number is, you can certainly ring in on 1-800-998-500. And that's the number we tell all of our students first thing that we're on is, what's the number? And now we go 1-800-998-500 for any help that you need. But yeah, we do. The checklist will help you walk it all the way through, but your own account manager will work personally with you to get you the process through.
Awesome. I think that is everything.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anne. And please, even if you didn't feel like you wanted to give feedback public here, if you could shoot us an email and just say if you found this useful. We're trying to decide whether to do some more. We probably will.
Yeah.
If anyone wants a recording, send us a message and we'll send you the recording. If you want to go through it again, if you want the checklist, just email us and we'll send you. So basically, we just want to help. Like, let us know what you need, and we'll help.
Because it honestly is. It's a win for the government. If you do use this, it's a win for your employees, and it's definitely, it's a win for employers. And yeah, that $28,000 per employee for your new and existing. That's the most exciting. Don't forget your existing employees. Let them be upskilled, because there is just so many benefits. Yeah, and we're just here to help you walk through this whole process.
Thank you, Anne. And for a person who claims to not be a trainer, I think you did a very good job.
Wonderful. Thanks, Melanie. Yeah, and let's see if more business owners access this. And it's Christmas in July.
I had to tell you that it's not July.
Nearly, only 2 more days.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.